Yo, 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 this is Mr. O. Yo, 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 this is Mr. O. And today we're going to learn about factoring polynomials. And we're going to review some basic factoring that we have learned in Algebra 1. We're going to do baby factoring, big boy factoring. This is where the leading coefficient is not equal to 1, difference of squares, sum and difference of cubes, and we're going to have more, okay? So let's go ahead now. Baby factoring, 2x squared minus 14x minus 36 equals 0. Some cases will think, oh, this is big boy factoring because the leading coefficient is not equal to 1. But hold on. When you factor, when you're given any polynomial, you always find the GCF. That's always the case. Does this equation or this term have any common factor? Yes, the common one is 2. All of them are divisible by 2. So I'm going to factor out that 2, dividing them all by 2. I will get inside will be x squared minus 7x minus 18 is equal to 0. Okay. On this case, we're only factoring, so we don't have to solve it. We don't have to have equal 0 there. Okay. Anyway, so moving on here. So focus now on this trinomial here. Can we still factor them? Can you think of any two numbers that when you multiply them gives you x squared? It's going to be x and x. That when you multiply them gives you negative 18. That when you add them gives you negative 7. If you say 9 and 2, you're wrong. But if you say negative 9 and positive 2, you're right. Because this will be minus 9, this will be plus 2 there. Negative 9 times 2 is negative 18, check. Negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7, check. Drop the 2 there, and that is those are the factors of the given. Big boy factoring, 2x squared plus 11x plus 15. This time, there's no GCF, and the value of the leading coefficient is not equal to 1. So I'm going to use the slip-hand side. 2 times 15 is going to give me 30. And then we're going to factor it, the regular way of factoring. What two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you 30. When you add them, gives you 11. So the answer is 6 and 5. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 plus 5 is 11. So it's positive 6, positive 5. Since you multiply the 2 to the 15, I'm going to divide this by 2 and this by 2. I can see that 6 divided by 2 can be simplified to 3. 5 halves cannot be combined, so I'm going to bring the 2 up there. So this gives you 2x plus 5. And those are my factors. Now, difference of squares. This is very similar to baby factoring or big boy factoring, except that they have a special thing about them. They're squared. When you say squared, like 16, because the 4 squared is 16, 9 because 3 squared is 9, or x squared because x times x is equal to x squared. So in this case here, a squared minus b squared, the formula is a plus b, a minus b. You have to understand that one is positive, one is negative, or a and a minus, I mean, or positive and a negative, okay? A squared here, you're going to take the square of that one, that will give you the a. Square of b squared, I'll put the b there, and then just write plus or minus. For example, what's square of x squared? X and x. What's square of 4? Square of 4 is 2 and 2 plus or minus. Kaboom. Or you can always do the basic idea of maybe factoring. What two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you a negative 4, but when you add them, you're giving 0x or 0. The answer is positive 2 and negative 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. So I'm going to write here positive 2 here and minus 2 there. So either or is fine. But it's good to learn about this formula because sometimes it gets a little challenging, like this. 16y squared minus 9. So the a squared here is 16y squared. So I'm going to take a square of that one, and I'm going to take a square of this. Square of 16 is 4. Square of y squared is y. So I'm going to write here 4y and 4y here. What's square of 9? Square of 9 is 3, and this is 3. plus or minus. And that's the factor. Easy, right? Now, let's go to a little longer and bigger than x squared, which is the cubes. Cube is a 3 times, For example, an 8. A cube root of 8 can be written as 4 times 2. 4 is 2 and 2. They are 3 sets of 2's. That's what the index is telling us. So the cube root of 8 is 2. Okay? So here, they are very similar with the formula. Okay? When you're given a cube plus b cube, if you will notice, these are perfectly the same. Okay? That's perfectly the same. All right? But look at the a cube minus b cube. They're very same. A squared, AB. That means you multiply A and B squared. Very simple, right? But where do they differ? It's called about SOAP. What is SOAP stand for? Same, opposite. This one here is always positive. Okay. All right. What's the meaning of that one? If the given is A cube plus B cube, S same. So you're gonna put this plus there. So I'm gonna write plus here. Next, O, opposite. So you go into the opposite of plus is minus. And the last one here, AP, always positive. This is always positive. So the next one here, if it's A cube minus B cube, that's minus there. So same, so I'm going to put a minus here. The next one is the opposite of that one is positive. And this is always going to be positive. And that's the representation of SOAP. Okay. Same, opposite, always positive. Okay. So again, here we have to find the cube root of 8x cubed. Again, like I showed you a while ago, the cube root of 8 is 4 and 2. This is 2 and 2. The index here is 3. That means you need to group them into 3. I have 3 2's here. So one group. So the answer is 2. So the cube root of 8x cubed is 2. The cube root of x cubed means say there are x, there are 3 x's there. So let's make it 2x. So my a value is 2x there. What is the cube root of 125? Cube root of 125, split them into two. I'll pick there 25 and 5. 25 can be 5 and 5. That's a group of 5. That makes my b is equal to 5. Once you know your values of a and b, you can apply the formula. Since this is a plus, I'm going to use the sum, which is the first one here. It says there a plus b, so a plus b here is 2x plus 5. Where did I get that one? Because this is the a and that's the b. A squared means 2x squared. Or you can write 2x times 2x. What's 2x times 2x? 4x squared. A common mistake of a student, they'll write 2x squared. That's wrong. Because the meaning of a squared, you multiply 2x twice. 2x times 2x. That's why it's 4x squared. Okay? So I'm going to erase this one here. The next one here is AB. You multiply the A and B, which will give you 10x. And then since it's minus here, I'm going to write negative there. I know that this is positive and positive there. You got it right. But 2x times 5 is 10x, but the formula says it's minus, so you're going to copy that minus there. Okay. Next, b squared. What's 5 times 5 or 5 squared is going to be 25. And that's the entire factor of 8x cubed plus 125. Okay. So again, let's recap. We have to find the a and b first, and then you apply the formula. Okay. Let's do one more of this. Okay. Let's go here. So here I have 27 cubed, 27c cubed. So I'm going to take the cube root of that. The cube root of 27 is 9 and 3. This is 3 and 3. So it's going to be 3. So a is equal to 3. What's cube root of c to the third? That's going to be a c. And what is the cube root of 64, which is 8 and 8, 4 and 2. This is 2 and 2. That's 4 and 2 and 2 and 2. That makes us a group of 2 here and a group of 2. Since there are two groups of 2, that means it will be b is equal to 4. And the b cube is obviously going to be b. Okay. So now let's apply the formula here. All right, so it's minus, so it's difference of cube, a minus b. So I'm going to subtract a minus b. On this case, my a is 3c, my b is 4b. So 3c minus 4b. A squared means say 3c times 3c is going to be 9c squared plus AB. You multiply 3c and 4b, that will give me 3 times 4 is 12. You can multiply c and b even they're not like terms. Like terms is only for adding, subtracting c and b. So write c and b, or some teachers would like it to be alphabetically ordered. And then b squared is 4b times 4b. That will give us 16b squared. And that is a factor of the 27c cubed minus 64b cubed. Okay? All right. So factor by grouping. Factor by grouping, if you will notice, there are four terms. Okay? Here's what you do here. You cut into half, two terms on the left, two terms on the right. What's the greatest common factor of the items on the left? X cubed minus 4x squared. The common them is x squared. So what goes inside the parentheses? I'm going to divide by x squared here, divide by x squared here. That gives me x minus 4. And then do the same thing on the right side. What's the common factor between 5x and negative 20? Is going to be positive 5. And divided by 5, divided by 5, that's your GCF. This gives you x minus 4. Do you notice anything about my answers here so far? Yes, you're right. Both of them have x minus 4. That's the common them, so I'm going to move it out, x minus 4. And what's left inside is x squared plus 5. Those are the item outside my x minus 4, and that will be my factors. 21x cubed plus 12x squared minus 56x minus 32. Again, factor by grouping, split them into two. 21 and 12 are have common factor, which is 3. X cubed, x squared, it will be x squared. Now we divide this by the GCF, 3x squared, divide by 3x squared. That gives us 7x plus 4. And here we expect that this will be 7x plus 4, but let's do it the right way. What's common between 56 and 32? Both of them are divisible by negative 8. Divide by negative 8 here, divide by negative 8 here. Negative divided by negative is positive 7x. Negative divided by negative is positive 4. And again, we're right. This 7x plus 4, this 7x plus 4, they're the same. So it's going to be 7x plus 4, 3x squared minus 8. And that is how you factor by grouping. And as always,